Hello everyone, it is a tiny baby fishy here again with today's Lingule. Now, Lingule, if you haven't watched before, you are given a single word from a language. You are given the word in its native script, a transcription, if necessary, into a Latin script, the IPA pronunciation, and the English translation of the word. You get 6 guesses, and it feels much more akin to Wordle because you will be given a green or a yellow on each of these categories: macro area, language family, subfamily, genus, and language. And you do get a little bit of help, although you can turn this off if you wish to play in so-called hardcore mode. You get map direction as well, which will point you in the direction on the map geographically towards where this language is spoken. Now, looking at this, it is written in the Cyrillic script, but I don't believe it's Russian. My reasoning for that being primarily, no, let's have a think about this, because Cyrillic, it doesn't have a T of its own, but Russian has sound rules that kind of account for that. If you had a D at the end of a word, it would be pronounced without voice, it would be T. And in other situations, I don't believe that letter can be pronounced as anything other than D. The other thing that points me towards this possibly being something other than Russian or a Slavic language is this transcribed here as a little gamma down the bottom here, and this is a velar fricative, velar approximant, I can't remember, but it is not a hard g, it is a soft g. And so we have this this little diacritic under the E, I believe, is lowering or perhaps centralizing, and so we have something like telere, which means world. Now, these fricatives are much more typical of Turkic languages. In Turkish itself, it's the G with an accent mark above it. And in other Turkic languages that are written with the Cyrillic script, there's various ideas on how to transcribe it, but you could potentially assume that a consonant wedged between two vowels like this goes from being a stop to a fricative. That's a pretty common sound change, and so maybe that just always happens, and so they just write it with a G. Or it could be that this language lacks a G entirely and has stops, voiceless stops and voiced fricatives. That feels a little less likely, phonologically speaking. You wouldn't expect a language to have a fricative where it didn't have a stop, usually, especially not with something like a velar. P are pretty common, b, d, g also common, and then v, the, r less common. Now, that's not, of course, that's kind of just a generalization. There no doubt will be plenty of counterexamples that you could fish out that would show that that does not hold always. But looking at this, what are we going to guess here? What can we say? Kazakh was until recently written in Cyrillic script, and I believe it may still be, although they may have switched to an Arabic script recently. I cannot remember which country did that recently. Azerbaijan, written in the Latin script. Kyrgyz, possible. Tajik is not a Turkic language. Tajik is related to Farsi, I think. I think it's an Indo-Iranian language. I could be wrong. Over the other side of things, you got things like Altai, Mongolian, Tuvan. Uyghur is written with an Arabic script. And then I suppose you've got things like Dungan. Is Dungan still alive? It's not. Interesting. You don't have things like Dungan. I'm incorrect. So let's have a go with Kazakh. Just get a bead on where we are geographically. And okay, so I was right about a fair few of my assumptions there. It is indeed from Eurasia. It's a Turkic language. It's even a common Turkic language, but it's not from the Kipchak family. So that helps us to rule out a couple of things. Kazakh, Karakalpak, I believe, is also a Kipchak language. Let's have a look on the map here and just see where we are. So this is obviously Kazakhstan. As we make our way to the east, this is Mongolia. We are pointing a little to the north of what I would expect from Mongolia. And so it could well be something like Tuvan, Altai. Um, let's try Altai. Although I don't think that's a common Turkic language. Oh, it is, and we've even made our way into the correct language family, which is the Siberian language family. And we've got to go a little bit further east, so that has me feeling like Tuvan could well be the go. And here we are, it is indeed Tuvan. Tuvan, spoken in the Tuva Autonomous... Actually, it's no longer an autonomous federal republic, is it? It's just the Tuvan Federal Republic, which is just to the north of Mongolia, on the border between Mongolia and Russia. And they have a fair bit of shared sort of culture with Mongolia and other Turkic sort of peoples. In particular, Mongolian throat singing is what actually came to my attention first as Tuvan throat singing. I knew that they did it in Tuva before I knew that they did it in Mongolia, just because of a documentary that I happened to see when I was fairly young. But there we go, that's today's lingual. Tuvan, the word telere, meaning world. And that'll do for today. I may or may not do a grammar today. If I do, I'll see you later for that. And if I don't, I will see you tomorrow for more language.